not hail. Not hail. Not hail. Not hail. How big's the hail?
Is the hail gonna ruin the...
Oh, no, 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 no. No, no, no.
It's getting bigger.
No.
A man and a woman left their home to switch things up and go on the road. They didn't know where they would go, but it's gotta be better than staying home. They switched it up. They switched it up.
I would say hail is not our friend.
Yeah, I'm not... We used to like hail.
Oh my gosh. And there's nothing we can do.
No, we're just out here in this big aluminum can.
Oh my. Oh no.
Oh, that's really big.
Oh. Oh no. I should have pulled the truck in. Is it gonna break the window? You can feel it. There's just like this sick, like
Are we recording?
sick pit in my stomach. Yes, this is bad.
Why is it bad? Because we're just in an aluminum... It's just gonna
Between the
dent
truck?
up the
It's the worst enemy you can have.
hail?
Yes. It could total this whole rig.
Box in the middle of a hailstorm. What else could go wrong? Fiona's like, she's just softer than Shrek is. Shrek's stronger. So
You're dealing with, yeah, I can't even think. I'm struggling.
stress.
It's a TPO roof, and so they generally bounce. I got a bad.
it's so loud. You know, ever since we've left,
I
the
can't
weather
even
has
think.
just not been in our favor.
I guess we're gonna learn what. I'm hoping tomorrow morning when we wake up, there's not any issues. That's my only prayer right now. TPO roofs are generally pretty resistant because it bounces. So that's my fingers, but the truck is.
Shrek's strong. He'll be fine.
I'm just really upset. I'm bummed.
I'm gonna build one more time. What's the worst that can happen?
Sheila, that was fun last night, wasn't it?
It was loud. That's what it was.
Now we have the fun task of going out to see what damage there might be. And I am fearful.
Do not cuss.
It's a family show. All right. Yeah, I mean, what do you do when you're in that environment? You just have to sit and wait it out.
There's nothing you can do about
Nothing
it.
you can do. We just know that you hear the horror stories of people, like, you know, they sit there and they go through something like this, and then their rig gets totaled, and then they have to stop, and they're living in hotels, and they're doing all this stuff, and I think that's the part that I fear the most. Sheila's getting ready for us to take off. So, heading out. Any words of advice?
Don't cuss.
Don't cuss. We're putting Sheila's car back in storage. Now I'm going to look at the truck. It's starting to rain. I can't see. Oh no, I'm going to have to wait. See if there's any hail in the truck. Good old Shrek. It's so loud. I won't be able to check the roof then. Alas, we shall wait until we have clear weather. We're heading to Colorado, so hopefully we'll get through this misty morning stuff and we'll get there and be able to check the rig out. But here we are, the old downtown. This is our home base. Gearing up, starting to sprinkle. Sheila has gotten everything together, and we're going to Denver to drop Allison off at the airport. Everyone asks, well, what do you do with your car and stuff? I think I covered this one in the last video. When we downsized, we put everything in here. So Sheila's car comes in, we put a trickle charger on it, make sure that the gas tank is stabilized from any kind of moisture. And then everything we've owned has now been pared down to this corner. This little bitty corner. That's it. That's all we have left.
In my car.
In her car. Yeah, in her car. And then we clean out the car, and it's left with this that has to go in something else. Sorry, I'm getting blown up. All right, final load up and hitch, and we're on the road. We'll check the rig later for like the truck and stuff for hail damage. Sometimes you gotta fix your white balance on your camera. It's vlogger life, behind the scenes.
Sandy.
You ready?
Guess so. I just like when the truck's clean.
You have issues with the truck.
That I like things clean.
Allison, you ready?
So ready.
She's going back to Houston. Say goodbye to your fans.
I tried on my makeup. I wasn't prepared for this.
Always be prepared is my new motto.
All right, Sheila. We made it to Colorado. We went through the hail. It's time to see if we have any damage on the roof. I kind of did a preliminary before we left McDonald's, but it was super wet, so you can't really see. This could be it. You want to hold the camera for me? I go up.
Okay.
I'm gonna go check the roof.
Well, can you tell how bad it is?
This AC's got hits all in it.
Why don't you take the camera and show them what you're looking for?
But I think we're gonna be okay. All right, can you bring the camera over here? Okay, so, all right, it's finally dried up here, so we can actually do a good inspection. What I was saying is down here, I noticed them when we first left. In here, a lot of the fins have been bent over. So I'll end up probably, old trick I use is just a toothpick. Usually take a toothpick and thin out all get them backlined, because if you don't have the airflow into the air conditioner, it causes the AC to overheat through the long term. So you don't want a lot of the fins bent over. That's the old trick from the roofing world. These though, that one up there has kind of got the same thing. As far as the roof and the TPO, I think we're all good. Some dents here and there. What I need to do, I need to wash the truck so I can check the truck. I don't know, it was so loud. Like, remember, that was loud and how bad it was. Talked to somebody else saying that they had their rig totaled from hail, and they just recently got a new one. They're gonna meet us at the Huddle in Georgia. And that process was really difficult, I guess. But as of now, it looks like there's no rips, tears in the TPO. You gotta worry about branches, of course, in your spots to make sure they're not touching. This tree's a little close for my comfort. But other than that, I think we're good to go. Let's check the truck out though. If Shrek's got hits in it, I think I might shed a tear. Man, hail. Hail is like the enemy for me. In the roofing world, I loved hail. I would do hail dances because I knew we would end up getting a lot of jobs from that. But after owning a fifth wheel being on the road, knowing this is our full-time house, knowing that the biggest fear is that this would get totaled, and then where would we stay? How would we get a new one? How long was the process going to take? All these thoughts come crashing in my head. It's kind of nuts. Let's go check the truck. While I'm up here, before I get down, people ask how's the cameras holding up? What's going on with those? Cameras are great. I've been probably gonna have to change the batteries out. The cameras have been great. The thing is that they pop on, and so what I generally do to hold them in place is I put a little silicone around where they pop on, as you can see here. And so when it's time to change the batteries, I know they're not gonna pop off when I'm driving, but I know all I have to do is cut the silicone to pop the backs off to change the batteries. But cameras are working fabulous. Somebody asked how they were holding up and how I held them on. So the other two are underneath the awnings above the doors. There's a little side note. We'll do a nice side note on the front. Had questions on that. The kayak holder is doing great. It does rattle around a bit in the wind, and I still need to do a couple more modifications, but other than that, it's awesome. You saw the video I did when I talked about the kayaks, when we did that when we were in, I believe, Arizona. Since then, I've added this flap, and this, when we go in low places, it curls up underneath, so it protects this bottom from rubbing. And when I was in Kansas City, we did another modification, whereas these holes, you can see where I had it. So I moved it up to this hole. I drilled another hole, but I narrowed it back. And so now this whole system sits back on about a 7 to 8 degree angle. By doing that, that brings the back kayak up 2 more inches, which now we're exact height to what our air conditioners are. So I think that puts us around 13.4. I'm hoping that helps with mine so it doesn't get a leak and rub again. So we're gonna see. Other than that, the system's working fine, but that's my modifications that I've done so far. Up front, I'm gonna wash the truck. Get the truck washed real quick. Got the stuff out. I've been receiving questions on how the wrap is doing. This new lens I'm trying to get used to. The wrap is actually doing really well. Prevents any of that stuff. What I did notice is when I was going out to Dad's a lot, we got a lot of mud on this and I let it sit. So therefore when I was washing the truck, some of the mud is kind of ground in, like in here. Probably can't see that. I'm gonna have to get just a stiff brush and really work it out. But other than that, no rock chips. We had 2 areas of failure. That was back here because of these rounded corners. And so these rounded corners didn't do well. I'll show you over this side, the light. So these rounded corners didn't do well. So we cut this out and then I'm gonna clean this up and put another little piece in. Those are the 2 primary areas that I've had problems with. Other than that though, everyone stops and asks me about this. They ask me if it's Rhino-Line and stuff. It's a great use, but I have to tell you, it does come with some maintenance. Underneath the rig, people have asked what's happened with that. You can see I had to cut away a section here because it didn't hold this line. So in here, I'm going to, but it's protecting what I'm asking it to. In here, I'm going to wash that up, and then I'm going to put probably a green stripe under there to have some continuity. Then it'll give me some depth from the truck bed to the back of the rig. So, let's talk about the Reese Goose Box real quick before we talk about hail on the truck. We received a lot of questions on the Reese. Is it great? Do I like it? It is awesome, honestly. It's a 20K. We weighed the rig pretty much full. We're running in at 18,400 pounds, right around there. In here, somebody asked, it does have an airbag. My first system that I had failed, and so we had to get a new airbag and a new system put in place. And I don't know what caused that. They said that's never ever happened. So they replaced the whole thing for free. But with this airbag, you can't see it real well. There's a bar here. And that air that you put in, I like that bar to be right underneath this circle. Now, when you hook up to your truck and you put the weight down, you want that bar to go halfway in the middle of that circle. That way you know that there's a proper amount of air. So it's going like this. If you load up to your truck and that is not showing in the indication window, if it's completely solid, you have too much air. If it's down low, you don't have enough air. So when it's on the truck under load, you want it to be halfway in the middle. So that's how the indicator. There is 2 shocks on the backside, right here. And it's not a great picture, sorry about that. There's those 2 shocks, and then there's an air system that you air up your bag. And people go, well, what do I like most about it is I get my bed of my truck back. So with the bed of the truck being the most important for us to haul kayaks, we went with this system based on convenience, and along with that, it has some good air cushion and stuff. I actually love the system. We installed the safety chains. We learned that some states require them, some states don't. We went ahead and installed them anyway, and it's been great. So truck, hail. The good news, no hail damage. With this on here, you're not going to see any major stuff on the belly. So the reason I washed it is the only way you're going to see hail is through light, sunlight. And there's nothing. I got some scratches from when I washed into a car wash, but so we are good to go. I mean, you listen back to that video and how we were getting pounded and how horrible things were. I mean, it's kind of crazy. There isn't much damage. So it goes to show when you're in the midst of a storm, it can be super loud. And I kept trying to capture the hail outside the windows, but it was too dark, and I was trying to switch lenses. It just didn't capture it. But you could see lots of hail all over the ground. But a lot of it was under quarter size. And so therefore, I think we just got lucky. Maybe there's different types of hail. In the roofing world, we call this basically like a squishy hail, where the hail doesn't have time to form up in the cloud. And as it comes down, if it's a little warmer, on the way down, it may be big, but it splatters. And so it's either, I call it squishy hail, some people call it splatter hail, you can call it whatever you want. But when it hits, it sounds super loud, but it splatters, and it doesn't cause the damage that a normal smaller hailstorm would be, you know, in the spring when it's colder. So, not that I'm some weather expert, I just know that from my past experiences. But I've never been in a rig where it's been that loud. That's crazy loud. Crazy. So hopefully there's some value to this to you guys today. Just doing a couple updates. We're getting ready to pack up for tomorrow morning. We're heading on the other side of Colorado, kind of in the middle, Estes Park area, I guess. So starting some adventures on this new trip. And what a way to start. We start out with doing some dancing, having a lot of fun. We have the updates from George on a quick live, and now we had that wonderful hail event that opened the door for us to kind of give you some updates before we hit the road. If you have any other questions on our updates as we hang out and we go on this trip, let us know. But these are the updates from the beginning for the last 5 months, so you can see that the cameras are working great. My internet system, I didn't show you that, it's still working fabulous. We're using that whole Mophie setup. I'm getting I test every place I go, and we're in Strattenburg, Colorado, outside of Denver. And we're getting about 9 megs up and from uploading when I do videos, which is absolutely incredible. About 10 to 15 doing downloads when we're watching Netflix and stuff. So amazing service here using our system. We're not even on the park system. So we've got the internet. You saw the cameras tie into the internet, and that's how we run Alexa when we want to do stuff. The Goose Box that we've been asking questions about, and quick little hail update. Hopefully that helps somebody as you're out and about. And yeah, kind of crazy. There's just a lot of things going on. So thanks for tuning in. Sheila's getting ready. It's been like a cleaning fest now that we're getting ready to go on this next thing. So we're getting everything in place. And we'll do updates on probably how we do our storage systems on the 395 MS as well, and how we've adapted and how the motorcycle's doing. But we'll do that and cover it in another video. If you're new to the channel, like, comment, subscribe.
we call ourselves Switch It Up because you don't know where we're going to be. I know we've been in Mexico, and yeah, you don't know what's around the corner. So that's pretty much it. There's your update for the day, and we will talk soon.